Yes. Good evening, YouTube. What is going on? Welcome. Episode 25 of The Rival Show. Guys, can you believe it's episode 25 already? We've done 25 episodes of The Rival Show. Absolute madness. Toon Tactics, welcome. Chinks, welcome. How's it going, lads?
Fantastic. Again, always a privilege to be here. Guys, I'll keep on saying it. We've got one of the best artwork I've seen on any channel before. So, and it's good. You got, and I hope the chat knows as well. Like it's got a great chat, great folks going on here. Something really positive is happening on this channel, and I'm just happy to be part of it. Ready to talk football.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure having you as well, Toon. Honestly, it's been interesting at times. It's been there's been some interesting debates, but it's all been good banter at the end. And Chinks, what is going on? How are you doing tonight?
Can you see me and hear me? Because I can't see Toon for some
reason.
Bro,
we can see you, but you got a massive Tottenham sign behind you.
Impossible, man. I'm gonna I'm gonna jump out and jump back in quickly because I think my internet's playing up. Give me 2 minutes. Yeah.
No worries. Hass, you can see me though.
I can see both of you clearly. I can hear both of you clearly as well. Just whilst Chinks is sorted out his technical issues, I just want to say a big shout out to everyone who's watching the show right now, everyone who is about to log in and watch the show. Welcome to the Rivals. We've got Mr. Adrian Schroker already in the show, in the panel. Good evening, all panel at all. Yep. Good evening to you, Adrian Schroker. Hope you enjoy the show tonight.
Big up, Adrian.
Oh, yeah. Toon. I think Chinks is sorting it out. We can see you now. Back to normal.
Lovely.
Where shall we start, guys? Because it's been an interesting one. Like this week gone. It's hotting up, isn't it? It's really hotting up now because we're getting to the tail end of the season. Chinks, you've got so much to look forward to over the next few weeks. Like pivotal point in time for Arsenal, obviously. They're just battering teams 6-0, 5-0 every week. It's just madness. And, well, look, Toon, I don't know what's going on with Newcastle, but I think, European spot, is it looking like a possibility if you can have a little mini revival? We're going to talk about all of that now.
Right.
Before we do that, I mean, look, let's talk about the Manchester derby on the weekend, right? Did both of you watch that derby? Did you watch the game?
I saw the highlights. Yeah. I saw the highlights for me.
Yeah, and Chinks, did you watch it at all?
Yeah, I watched a good amount of it, but it was difficult to watch, man. So
yeah,
not 100% attention.
He's living the bougie life. He's seen 5 goals, 6 goals, no response. Like he can't be bothered for these 3.
Yeah, he's about that, right, isn't it?
No, you know what it is? You just know the story, innit? You know how it's gonna go in that game. Like, there's no point me even getting my hopes up. We know the result I want, but I just know why am I gonna suffer and put myself through it? And when Man U went ahead, I was like, just keep calm, Kadama, because we all know how it's gonna end. Do you know what I mean? And I genuinely, this sounds weird, but I feel sorry for Ten Hag, man. I probably say it every week. I actually feel sorry for the guy, man.
Actually, Chinks, you make a really good point, though, bro. You make a very good point because it's been like a poison chalice, right? Since let's go back as far as Ferguson leaving, right? That's been a poison chalice, that job. That Manchester United job. Obviously Mourinho took over. At one point, he won. He won the Europa League. Yeah, he won them the Europa League, and they've had 1 or 2 cups here and there, but it's not been the United of old. And Erik ten Hag, for me, inherited a team that was out of control in the first place under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, right? So he had a big job on his hand, big egos. We can go as far as back as like Pogba, when Mourinho was in charge, all the tantrums and everything else. But what's going on now is just. It's incredible to see. Manchester United are breaking all sorts of records at the moment, and not good ones. Not good ones.
Treacherous, man.
It is really bad. I mean, they got rid of Sancho and sent him to Borussia Dortmund, but that is proving to be, the correct decision for Ten Hag, because if you look at Sancho at Dortmund now, that same pattern is coming into play.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
true.
you can't be just, Ten Hag is causing the issues and stuff. Maybe there is an
That was a
issue.
good move, I think, because even if he was to light up the Bundesliga, I still would have think it's better for Man U for him to be gone. His attitude isn't right, I reckon, man. Not saying I know him personally,
Yeah.
but just from what I've seen and stuff, like that's not the way to go about it. You get your head down and get on with it. You don't be going back and forth with like your senior figure, I suppose. It's not a good
Yeah,
look on you as a
absolutely.
professional as well. Yeah.
Toom, what do you make of it all?
Oh man! So in terms of, I kind of hear both sides of the argument in terms of Ten Hag in, Ten Hag out, or he's the problem or not the problem. It kind of it's a layered approach in terms of, first of all, it starts off of their it still is their ownership, but in terms of the Glazers, obviously Ineos have just come on, and they essentially on their board of directors had bankers and accountant guys instead of football minds and football brains, and that's what set the precedence for Man United, and they left the very traditions that made them great in the first place. And as a result of that, you start seeing them buying, Anthony's for 80 million. That's fast forwarding. Not for instance, Alexis Sanchez's deals, all of that, and it all kind of culminated in the culture and everything that they've got now. So Ten Hag is not responsible for that. The owners are responsible for that. They're responsible for having 5 managers in however many years. 5 managers with totally different philosophies, different styles, different everything, personalities. They brought in their players, and some of those players are still here. I mean, Phil Jones only retired. Is he still there? I can't remember.
That is mental. Phil Jones is living that life, isn't he? Let's be honest. Phil Jones is living the life that we'd all want to live, right? I mean, just turning up to training a couple of hours a day, sitting on the bench, earning some money. I mean, that's the life, right, boys? Come on, let's be honest.
Yeah, and he's still there. Then they had this thing. I don't know if you saw. I saw a clip, to be honest. The recent interview with Solskjaer, and they talked to him about the Ronaldo deal. For instance, this is another example of. So he's saying obviously the Ronaldo deal came very, very last minute. He had already done his pre-season with the team, so how the team was going to play, they were going to press, they were going to do all these things. But when Ronaldo came, so I said yes. When they asked me, and I said yes. And but Ronaldo coming in, 37-year-old, he said, I had to change the way we played. But hold on, you'd set up the whole preseason to play a certain way, which I would think is probably high pressing and stuff like that, which you can't do with a 37-year Ronaldo. But you've said yes, I'll do it. And I heard a good take today from for the Football Terrace in terms of that, where whether you think Solskjaer's lying or not, in terms of if he was even allowed to make a decision on Ronaldo. Even if he said he wanted Ronaldo, the owners should have said yes. We've all got children or younger siblings or anything like that. Every time they ask for sweets, are we going to give them sweets? No, because you're going to get diabetes. And Ronaldo for that team, yes, he's bagged in goals, and I get that. He's a legend. But if you set up your team to play a certain way, you can't change it for one player at the last minute unless you set that out to do it. Like, you set it out by Ronaldo. So that's the confusion that just has been ruining Man United all this time. Now, fast forward into Ten Hag. With Ten Hag, they've said, okay, we've got no scouts, we've got no recruitment, or even the ones that we do have, we're not going to listen to them. Ten Hag, we saw you at Ajax. Ajax are pretty good at recruiting and getting youth staff. You do everything as well as manage the team. So Ten Hag got to buy all these players that he wanted. However, Ten Hag said, I'm not going to play the Ajax way. But he half bought Ajax players and half bought really practical players. I.e., he went from trying to get De Jong, couldn't get De Jong, and then went to Casemiro. Hold on, but they're totally different profiles.
Yeah,
wouldn't you go De Jong maybe to a Madison, for instance? Or I'm just throwing a name out there in terms of like similar-ish profile. How do you go from De Jong to Casemiro? So on the one hand, and I've given all this background to why Ten Hag isn't responsible for things, but then he's also responsible for not playing his philosophy and not playing his style. I think had he been playing his philosophy and had he been playing his style, getting the players as he's in, even if Man United are 5th or 6th, there'll be less blame at his door than there is now. And now they're kind of circling the drain already in this season, where the players are thinking he's already gone. Some of them players already know that they're already gone. and they're just there. They're just, the Fulham game. Never mind the Man City game. The Fulham game is where I was like, you guys are finished. Like, wow, this is at Old Trafford as well. So it's those are the percentages. Probably about 25% Ten Hag, another 25% to the players, and another 50% odd to the owners in terms of the blame itself. It always stems with the owners themselves. So, but the players are taking the real liberties. They're taking the absolute piss.
Man. they're CUNTs, man. Because I feel so stressful because I know he wanted to adopt a certain style of play.
He did.
He's put a few players here and there. And then the ones that are there that are like not the bad apples, but they're just Man United players. They've got like an arrogance about themselves. They don't listen if it's not going nowhere. They'll leak story to their agents, to the media. Like you see Rashford, if I don't want to run, I'm not running. Like Maguire, if I don't want to go, I'm not going. Like they all just now Ten Hag, I actually can't do what I want to do. Even if I wanted these players to try to get them to use my philosophy, half of you remaining guys are not going to do it. So now unfortunately I have to play the football which you guys are gonna do, which I don't want to do. So it's like I'm stuck in a rock and a hard place. And then on top of that, my from what you said, what you refreshed my memory of, the owners, as you said, they're like bankers, they're all this stuff. Like they're not really footballing people. So if you look, while Man U have gone like this on the pitch, like their value has gone like this.
Yeah.
So like so you can see where their intentions are and what they're looking for because they sign like Rashford's the poster boy, free meals everywhere. You know what I mean? He's good branding for the club. Like, you know what I mean? Maguire, most expensive England centre back. Like, it's just a good PR job, but a terrible pitch job. Like, you know what I mean? It's hilarious, bro.
Yeah.
Let's welcome TJ to the show. TJ, what's going on, brother?
Hello, people. How you guys been? Lateness is greatness. That's what they say. And if you're not late to the party,
I love this guy, man. He's got such swag when he comes into the show.
How you guys been? Sorry about that, man. I've just come back from work in it, rushed back in it. There was a lot of traffic in it, so
you know what, TJ, you made it, bro. So it's all good. How you been?
I've been good, man. I've been good. Just literally just focusing, grinding on myself, healing, just keeping my mind busy. It's just one of them ones, and pretty okay. Football is a bit dead, but it is what it is. You can just live another day, live happy, be happy in it.
Who's the team?
Tottenham, bro. Tottenham.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Tottenham. So we're not performing well right
TJ,
now.
we're gonna get into that. Bro. We're just going around the grounds, around like different clubs. We're just talking about Man United at the moment and that Manchester derby on the weekend. It was dire, wasn't it? I mean, let's be honest. I mean, Rashford, give him props for that goal. That goal was just an insane goal, but it was the Foden show in the second half. I mean, wow. And Toon, we had this conversation a couple of weeks ago.
we did.
And I'm gonna have to backtrack a bit, because you know what, Foden's doing the numbers and he's putting on show after show. He's putting on performances. So you know what, I'll eat humble pie on this one. I think Foden, he's doing bits at the moment. But yeah, TJ, what'd you make of it all? I mean, United, it's a weird season, isn't it? I mean, they've broken. I'm going to go through some of their records after I've taken your.
They're crazy, man. Their records are crazy, but they're quick. They're pretty similar to us, when you don't have the foundation in place. It is what it is, isn't it? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, the derby, I expected Man United to do a bit more. Let me be totally honest with you. They usually have a good enough record against Man City.
A fight at least, isn't it?
But it's clear than ever. That the players have lost faith in the manager. Firstly, because they wasn't playing for him. A derby's so important. It's like one of your most important games in the whole season against the rivals that live up the road. You know how close their stadiums are. Imagine Arsenal and Tottenham. Close like that. Like, it'll be beef. I will catch someone on the street. I think, like, you know, I'm wearing a City jersey. Like, what is that all about?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
But the game's difficult, you know. Look, Foden's a player, man, and we have to say this. And I'm not just being a hater because I'm a Tottenham fan.
Yeah, right, but, there we go.
And it starts.
You think he's better than Saka? We have to put that down in the discussions, because the way this guy moves, man, he is elite. No, I have to give him props. He's overall player. His style, what he does for Man City,
it's crazy.
Brilliant player, man. Brilliant player.
Sorry to query you, yeah. What do you mean by elite? Yeah, because when you cool. Elite is a great, because I have arguments with these people every day, innit? Say, for example, he's a cam, innit? Can we say he's a cam, or is that?
We can say he's an all rounder.
CM.
He's everywhere, bro.
Yeah.
He's all over the gap.
Partey's a CM. Like, do you know what I mean? He's too flyweight to be a CM, surely.
Bro, have you seen him? Even if he's back at a DM collecting the ball to goal?
Have you seen him when he got into an argument? His mum had to back it. Have you seen him? He's only feeble. What do you mean? He's only a small kid.
That's uncalled for. I mean, I've seen it. I don't know if it's a little bit way back, but I saw the Everton game when they played Everton away, and Everton were absolutely, you know, they were having barroom fights with them on the pitch. But Foden is strong. He's strong. He takes a lot of player, man. He's a fantastic player.
And when I say elite, let me just justify it before you guys take it out of context. I'm saying elite, like he's on that stardom to become elite. Like I can see it. Give him maybe 2 or 3 years. We're gonna start saying he's probably one of the best attacking midfielders or whatever you want to call it in the Prem. I'm telling you, and I that's a player that you need. I would love him at Tottenham personally. His overall game is so good. Just all the technical things he does on the pitch. It's just it, and he's so young.
TJ, you reckon Tottenham's got a chance of getting him?
We're the richest club in the world, isn't it? That's what a lot of fans have been saying. We're the richest club, but
I'm pulling your leg.
Give him go-karts, isn't it? He might.
The only way we could get him out is if they get relegated. Do you understand where I'm coming from? I think we'll have a chance to like.
He's Man City through and through. He'll play to get them back up.
Absolutely. But guys, you know what? He's playing under arguably the best manager in the world. Like one of the best managers that's ever done it. I say one of because I still think Ferguson for me is just.
Why is it a but? You said but. You said but has. You said but he plays under one of the best managers in the world.
No. Toon's trying to make a little bit more out of this. No. I didn't mean anything by it, honestly. I just got to say, like, you know, he's under such tutelage at the moment.
No,
like, it's the
and
best
the team he plays in, though, has
and the team he plays in, exactly.
Like, you know exactly. What I mean? Because to make another silly comparison, yeah, you see the United and City game, yeah. Who do you think had what were the differences between Rashford's and Haaland's performances in that game?
Well, this was the difference, right? I'll tell you what the difference was. Haaland could afford to miss like 3 or 4 chances and then cherry pick one of the other ones, whereas Rashford was literally scraps. Let's be honest, okay? Like Haaland doesn't have to work hard to get goals.
He's a finisher. That's
whereas
his job.
Rashford is expected to, and this is not me backing up Rashford or whatever, but Rashford sort of expected to do most of it himself, right? So he needs to make the runs, take his player on. You know, look for the long ball, get him behind. Whereas Haaland, yes, he's got to have that finishing instinct, which he does. But for me, Haaland also misses quite a lot as well.
Yeah, but I don't think his role. Can I just add a bit to what you're saying, and you can carry on? I don't think Haaland's role is to do anything more than just put in the back of the net. You know, so exactly. More or less, isn't it? If you're comparing both of them,
that's luxury, though, right?
Of course.
Yeah,
but then that Go for it, bro. No. Carry on what you were saying.
People will be singing Haaland's like praises, like he's the best in the world and he's the greatest of all time. And I'm like, but his performance was not that much better than Rashford. And you
That's why as a Spurs fan, that's why as a Spurs fan, I would die on the sword. And I remember this argument last season, and everybody was saying, who's a better striker, Kane or Haaland? And I know Kane's left, yeah.
Kane,
but I
100%.
said it with my chest. Kane's the best striker in the Prem and even to walk this earth because he does more than a striker role. Haaland is just a finisher.
Can I just say, I think you need to rephrase that. Who is the better footballer?
Okay, yeah.
And I would say because of all the other stuff that Harry Kane does, right?
Cool.
So he can strike, he can finish, he can pass, he's got a brain, he can track back. Hell, we've even seen him in goal. We've seen him defending. You know, this guy does it all. But I think
that's another string to the bow, though, Has, because I could still revert back to what TJ said, yeah. Because even if we just want to single it down as striker, I think Kane could have scored 52 last year in that City squad, and I think all them goals he scored in Norway, Kane would have scored them as well. And I'm an Arsenal man. Like, do you know what I mean? Kane is critically, like, he's ridiculously underrated, and I think that's a rivals thing and a bias thing, because you know, like, people like to be world class. They like to add these intangibles. Like, you got to do it in this specific game. I tell you to do it. You got to do it at this time at 9 o'clock. You got to do it in Stoke. When all it takes to be world class is be like either top 5 in your position. And Kane's been that for as long as I can remember.
Absolutely,
from my memory.
Absolutely. I just want to quickly answer this question. Have you not heard about Gascoigne? Daniela, absolutely, 100%. And you know what? I'm going to say this. Yesterday, I had one of the Charlton youth players who had an under-21s game yesterday. Before he played his game, he come to my calf and we had a little chat. And I was telling him about Gascoigne. And I said, do you know anything about Gascoigne? It was like, who's that? I was like, wow. Like, you know, I mean, this kid was about, I'd say 17, 18, plays for Charlton youth team, under 21s. And I just couldn't believe it. You know, don't know about Gascoigne, didn't know about a few other players as well, to be honest. But I think we all on the panel know about Gascoigne, let's be honest.
Of course.
Right.
Yes.
One of the greatest players ever. So Daniela, just to answer your question, yes, but it's alarming how many youngsters don't know about legends like Gascoigne, like Lineker, like Cantona, all these players, you know.
The problem is, I'm going to come from a young-minded perspective. I'm probably the youngest on this panel, 24. We don't really look in that.
I'm 23, bro.
Okay, cool. You're young then. But you look old. You could be my dad, bro. You could be my dad, bro. You could be my dad, but what
I'm older than you.
Yeah, no, but what was I saying? Us youngsters really don't like go back and look at the highlights, and even if it's not even that, I can solidly say I became a Spurs fan probably 2008, and I don't even look back in the past. Even though I'm a hardcore Tottenham fan, I don't look back to all the ex-players and all the legends because it's not really a big thing, right? For me, really and truly, my football club is what I see on the pitch every other week, you know? So it's a bit of a shame that we don't have that special bond, you know? But
guys, I think Daniela just added to what she said, okay? Says that it's talking about what he came out saying. Apparently he's homeless. That's big. I mean, look, saying he's in his agent's place and said he's a sad drunk. Lots of articles saying it. Apparently he came out saying it. That is mad. Like, for someone who was on such, like, you know,
high levels
pedestal, like to now, if the reports are correct, you know, homeless, living in his agent's. That's just, it's so sad. Like, you know, you wouldn't expect like in 20 years' time to read about someone like, let's say, Kevin De Bruyne, homeless, living. It just doesn't happen these days, right?
But look, we were talking about elite just earlier about that, and I can't remember if I said it on this site before. there was a interview with Bernard Hopkins. For those of you not familiar, is a famous, legendary boxer.
Of course.
And they were asking him about essentially, coaching boxers and stuff like that. And he sat down and he paused and he said, "Look, there's a whole load of trainers and coaches, but there's not enough teachers." And what he's saying is that, yes, in terms of boxing, he's there, jab and cross hook, whatever you're doing, move your legs, and obviously professional boxers. But when it's about teachers, like teaching them values, why it is what we do, how inside, outside the ring. And it was the same thing that if we bring it back to football, and I can't remember if I was talking to Yoms about this on here. What made, for instance, if we're talking about Man United, what made them so great is, and you hear the stories that Ferguson used to have with these guys. He would tell Beckham, "You can't have this crazy hair. That's not who we are. Everyone has to have the same haircut," type of thing. Or, values that inside and outside of the pitch. Nowadays, nobody wants to talk about that because it's very taboo, or there's so many different changes to it, or you can start a riot. But and thinking, and they're thinking, for instance, because we've joked and laughed about what happened, for instance, with Nicholas Jackson and a certain social influencer. And I think, I can't remember if it was in this show, but I made the point that if his mind is there, he can't focus. He can't just stop and then focus on the football pitch like that. It doesn't, like, someone has to sit him down and talk to him and get his mind back together, like in a certain period of way. Because we can see on the pitch. We can see on the pitch. And so Ferguson was a father to many of these guys. Patrice Evra said it to Van Persie. Like I said, he shook his hand and said, "Welcome to a man's club." And Van Persie took offense to that, didn't know what it meant until he stayed for Man United for a couple of months, and he said they're totally different. He didn't say the most dribbly club or the most, techers club. He said this is a man's club, mentality, values, everything else that comes with it. And so looking at, obviously, whether it's Gascoigne, you talk about KDB, the reason why we're sure it's not going to be KDB is that Man City have built themselves on more than just being a system team and tactics and stuff like that. Look at their players and what they're like inside and outside of the pitch. I know there's some insane stories about some of them, but they've got enough within them, the ethics and everything that they do to bring those guys back into check. Man United are all over the place and to what they are now, but all of it counts. And nowadays, everybody wants to come in and do the tactics, do the training. It's all important. I'm not saying that you don't do that. You can't play football, but it's all your all-round life. I think
it's recruitment as well, because I think we said it last time as well about Klopp's policy, and even back on Pep, what you said as well. Like, look at is it Sane? I think Leroy Sane had a bad attitude. See you later. Cancelo had a bust up. See you later. If you have a certain type of attitude, I don't care how good you are. We had Guendouzi. Like, no matter how good you are, if you ain't got the right attitude, see you later, mate. And I think a lot of these, like, back to the Bernard Hopkins thing as well. A lot of these, like, you give them all these millions, you can't tell me nothing.
This is what I was going to touch on, Chinks. This is what I was going to ask you, actually. Like, do you think there's too much money in the game at the moment? Because this is another conversation I was having with the youngster yesterday that I was talking to. Like, too many players are given too much at a young age. And it's like, well, I've done it. I've achieved what I need to achieve in life. I'm earning like 100 bags a week. Does it really matter if I win a trophy or not? Or does it really matter if I win next week's game? I'm going to turn up and I'm still going to get paid that money. I think there's far too much emphasis on pay and pay structure rather than like what you said to about having values and everything else.
But even in Liverpool, I can't remember, because I heard someone say that they got a pay structure for their youngsters, so they don't really get really real pay. I don't know whether there's like it's not like, oh, you're a dope 16, 17-year-old, here's 100 bags. It don't work like that in Liverpool. Like, I forgot but they have a certain pay structure, so that they don't go crazy essentially until they actually reach the club itself, the first team itself. So,
what's, I don't even know if I'm just playing devil's advocate, but what's scary about it? Because say, for example, if it was our kids or anyone we're related to, we'd want them to get the most they can get. Like, do you know what I mean? And then, Like it just, and then look at it from the perspective. Yeah, look, we all know how much money our like football generates, in it, and how much clubs generate, like from FIFA Manager and all stuff like that. When I played that game, I was like, wow, is this how much money that I get to work with? Like, do you know what I mean? So when you look at the money that's being made by my work on the pitch, how can you justify me as the player that I don't deserve a big portion, not even or a reasonable portion of this? Like, do you get what I mean? Like, Rooney, this is years ago, was getting paid more than the Prime Minister, which doesn't make sense because one's running the country and one's kicking the ball about. But when I'm playing for a team that's turning over billions, how can you justify to me that I? Sorry,
so Chinks, this goes to your point exactly. How can you justify it to me? This is what makes clubs special. They go against the grain. So, for instance, I remember going back to Man United. They made it a policy. Ferguson made a policy. No player gets paid more than me. Right? No player gets paid more than me.
That shouldn't be happening.
No one can park in my parking spot. I park the closest to the club. It's small things like that to big things. So everybody knows their level. And it all matters about, there is the parents, obviously, Jude Bellingham's, if you hear anything about Jude Bellingham's background, it's like he was bred for success. Him and mum and dad. But he could have went to Man United straight away. He went to, or whatever, Real Madrid straight away. He didn't. He went to Dortmund. But that's like that's 1 in a million. So it's all about almost like the club themselves, the football club themselves. I mean, so for instance, I can only tell you at Newcastle, like literally every transfer window, people are telling us how underwhelming our signings are. And whenever I tell people, yeah, but we've got guys with good character that are loyal, and that's what's going to stand. It's like it goes down like a lead balloon. No one's buying that. But then, for instance, I've seen this season, we've had 10 plus injuries literally throughout the season, but we've remained resilient. We've got guys that love the club and that want to be there and want to do that. And so that's what holds you through. And so when you are, for instance, got the richest owners in the world, for instance, you got to be even more disciplined in terms of how you manage your money and what you do and the kind of players and characters going to, when the money gets higher, the people, the players that got character, become even more important. The club's character ethos becomes, because you will be who you attract. I'm glad, for instance, Arteta kicked out the players he kicked out because he couldn't have what he's got now. He couldn't.
Yeah, but then let me just flip it, play devil's advocate.
Go on, sir.
But where's the accountability? Because then, look, let's be honest with you. You bring in a shit player into your club for what? How much money? And I'm earning just above the minimum wage, right? But he's earning more, and I guarantee you, if he plays shit against Arsenal, where's his accountability? Because I know if I perform shit, I get fired. He should get fired too. Put it like that, So,
do you mean from the manager's perspective, or
it's about football life, like?
Generally, like, there's no accountability when you put them in. Put a player on hundreds of thousands a week, right? They're basically set for life.
I agree. I agree.
They're basically set for life.
Yeah, you only have to stay at a club for a year on that sort of wage to be, you're literally set for life,
But you're not set for life, because how many athletes from NBA, football, NFL have gone broke?
I tell you, you put me on 10K a week, I'm set for life.
I'll tell you what,
they don't know the concept of money. They get used to the bougie lifestyle, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry for cutting into you. Go for it, bro. Go for it.
Because I don't know you personally, I'm just going to talk in general. People that haven't seen money or haven't built money, for instance, for a long period of time and come into a big amount of money without a structure and people around them who know how to keep and invest in it, go broke and go mad. How many millionaires? I think there was a survey on it. How many people won the lottery and went broke? There's more. I think there's more people that went broke after winning the lottery than those that have been set for life and created generational wealth. And so that's what I'm talking about, teaching.
Doesn't that come down? But doesn't that come down to the character? Because no offense, innit? Obviously, you called me broke, yeah, man. But I tell you this, innit? If they gave me 10K a week, innit, yeah, I promise you, I'm managing my money wisely. It comes down to characters. It's what you do with the money. Really and truly, if you're not educated about certain things, right? The same way you're saying all these millionaires that go broke, innit? It's because they're mismanaging their money. Simple.
1,000%.
I'm on not even half of what they're on. I'm not even on. I'm not even on that level, right? But I'm managing my money. I'm not sleeping outside. And again, I'm not saying I'm rich, and I'm not saying I'm broke. But if I can manage my money with the little wage I get, let me be honest with you. For them people that get over 100K a week, and they go bust. That's just them. That's just them as humans.
No, 1,000%. But you're discounting your experience because of what you've been through and what you've experienced. You've learned that, because I think, was it Chris Rock who said that if Bill Gates had Oprah's money, he'd slit his throat. Like, do you know what I mean? Because it's about what you've experienced. Like, do you get what I mean? So because these guys have been getting, see, like you said, 10 grand a week or a month will be good for you. They've been getting that since they were 15. Do you know what I mean? That's chump change to them. Like, do you know what I mean?
I think TJ makes a good point. You're right, Chinks.
It is them.
Yeah, because I mean, look, if you earn that sort of money, you're saying you'll be okay because you're within the context of your lifestyle and you know where you live, etc., etc. You know, you learn to manage that properly. But where you've got these players, whatever discipline they're in, earning thousands, if not millions a year, like TJ was saying, you know, living this bougie lifestyle, you know, $1 million mansions, whatever it is, that comes at a price, obviously. So if you take it too far, obviously, you know, that takes its toll on whatever you're earning. Yeah. So it's different. I mean, look, TJ, I totally 100% agree with you. Just quickly, I just want to say a big shout out to Phil P. Thank you very much for the super chat, mate. Say last Ashmatic on Spurs. Woo! Well done. Well done, Phil P.
Smashed it.
Absolutely. Big shout out to Phil P. Who says humor in a dark moment to Adrian Stroker. Yes, thank you very much for the super chat, Phil P. Much appreciated, brother. I hope you're well. Sorry, Toon, you were saying.
No, I was gonna say, look, it's hard to. You can judge in terms of. You can say I wouldn't look at look at the life I'm living now. If I was them, I wouldn't do that. You don't know until you come across it. And a lot of those players come from that background or have relatives that come from the background. It's not that they've been living on satin sheets all their lives and this is what it is. It does, you know, they've come. The reason why they've a lot of struggled and come to where they are is because kind of been so focused on football is because they wanted to get out the grind and the hustle where they were. You don't know what your character takes. It's not something that you can come overnight. It comes through failures and missteps and mistakes and all those type of things, and it's formed through that. And so some of those players would experience that, but you sometimes didn't even know that you've made a mistake or you're about to fail or you have failed or how to overcome failure unless you have a teacher next to you. And if all your managers telling you about, all right, last week you played left wing forward, this week I need you to go right wing forward, and he's not even telling you that. He's not even acknowledging, like in the case of Nicholas Jackson, that he was on he's talking absolutely crazy to some social influencer the other day, like, and not even kind of addressing it with him at all. Whatever he does outside the pitch, does outside the pitch. I'm not necessarily even saying whether it was right or wrong or whatever, but where's your mind at, bro? Like, do you know what I mean? So.
Can I just add something to that as well? Yeah, sorry, bro. I don't mean to critique everything you're saying, innit? But bro, it comes back down to you as an individual making the right decisions in life. And you know what my grandma used to say? She said this to me: keep your circle close, choose your friends wisely, spend a little, save a little. If you live by that lifestyle, you won't have no problem with money. You won't have no problems with people, and you'll be able to become. You're not going to be doing something stupid to get yourself. Look, I'm sorry. Like I believe in you know what's wrong and you know what's right. That's how I was brought up. Again, this is just myself, innit? And it might sound like I'm being harsh, innit? But if someone's going to go and mess them. Example, I'll give you a good example. Look, you choose wrong and then something bad happens to you. Is that your fault? You've chosen to put yourself in wrong. And sometimes you have to have the balls. Like, do you understand? Where's the accountability? That's what I'm trying to say. The accountability
I'm not saying
for
you're
these
not wrong.
players are
I'm
not
saying,
there.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong, but obviously it was about Gascoigne. I'm saying, you know, by yourself, you said you have to know what right from wrong, but you have someone to teach you right from wrong. You have to have someone to teach you how to choose wise friends, teach you how to spend money or invest money or save money. And you have to be willing to be to be humble, to be able to receive that and take that on. So, you know, all these things, yes, there's it's once, obviously, yes, we've all got accountability, we've all got personal responsibility, big up the grandmas. But you need that, even going back to Gascoigne, going back to Bernard Hopkins, everything that he's seeing, you need teachers. I think you need managers have to be more than just managers. I think they have to be more. You just talking about tactics boards, and you know, you need to get this. I think it's a lot more than that. I think someone said the other day, football was 95% psychological or mental and 5% physical. I think part of that psychology is to do with, like you said, what's going in your brain, what's going out your brain, what you're teaching, where you're getting your information from. And so, yeah.
I agree with what you're saying, bro. I agree with what you're saying. But can you just, for me, like, just correct me if I'm right or wrong in it, yeah? But these are grown men. I'm struggling to understand where you need teachers and grown men. When you're an adult,
you always need a teacher. Always.
Exactly. You're always learning and living, right? But you're an adult. You choose to, if I choose to have, I don't know, if I choose to mess up my life, if I choose to pull out a knife and I go outside and I get caught, who's wrong? I'm not going to say my mum didn't teach me not to do this.
Yeah, but you've got accountability. TJ, you've got accountability because you sound like me, yeah, because I go on podcasts, yeah, and all I get hit with, yeah, is like, oh, they say you're too harsh, your delivery. So your message is 1000% correct, and you're right. But if the audience is not receiving it now, yeah, it's like, if we genuinely care about these people, we have to kind of communicate with them a way in which they can understand. Do you get what I mean? Because you're right. You're 1000% right.
Okay, cool.
And the same way you're telling them this.
I agree. If they haven't been taught right from wrong, then fair enough, innit? You know what I'm trying to say? You know, I don't know like their backstories, innit? And I'll give them self-pity in that, you know. But we're talking about successful individuals that have had careers and had opportunities and I only use myself as the example. Let me have any of them moments where I get the silver spoon. And I'm not saying all players and all celebrities have the silver spoon. But let me have that one moment, yeah? Trust me, you're not going to see me, bro. I'm going to take over the world. Because I know my values. You know, I've been taught to be happy in life, innit? You know what I'm trying to say? That's the first thing. Be happy in life, innit?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Keep your head straight. And don't get too greedy.
This is what happens when you mention Gaza in these shows. You have to, we went deep. We went deep.
Therapy,
you know? It was a good chat to be had. And I think we all need to live by. Yeah, go on, Cheeks.
Tie it back to the subject, yeah, because we're speaking about character, innit? Yeah. And what I'll say, yeah, these Man United players, they ain't got the right character. You know what I mean?
But do you think it's the manager, though? That's the only thing in it, though. Do you think it's the manager that makes the characters?
I don't know if it was before Toon, where you got here, but Toon said you could say 25% Ten Hag, 25% players, and 50% the infrastructure and the people above them, because a lot of it is their fault. Because at the end of the day, they bought majority of these players. They chose this manager, and they constantly, even if I believe the Ronaldo thing that he was offered to Ole, and even though I know how it went with hindsight, I still would say yes to Ronaldo. I'd say yes to him every day, twice on Sunday. Pause if I have.
And you need someone to tell you no. That's the whole point of what the owners are supposed to say.
And
they're supposed
they're
to
looking
say
at
no.
They're looking at the stock, though. They're looking at the value of the stock price.
And you know what? You're right.
The moment Ronaldo forwards in, the stock price is skyrocketing.
Like, and you know what? You're right. And you know what made it worse for them? Whenever they, by accident almost, got a person who would call their nonsense out, i.e. Ralph Rangnick. Ronaldo did this. And Ralph Rangnick said, listen, guys, this club needs open heart surgery. He got shut down and he got kicked out. And people were saying, who's this useless manager? He plays 2-2-2 on the tactics. They forgot what he said. He said, this club is going insane. Jose Mourinho said this club is going insane. Nah, he's poisoning the toxic. Even if he's poisoning the whole of the training pitch at Carrington, he was still telling you the truth. It's gone
100%.
absolutely rotten. So but the thing is, accountants and bankers, they're not here to hear about your ethics and your character. Don't give me that. Don't give me that.
But see, one thing I can say, the foundations are wrong at Man United, and look, I'm in the same situation because maybe a lot of Spurs fans might disagree with me, but I say it how it is. I think you kind of like got a glance of my character. That's how I've always been, you know. If I've offended anybody, sorry, you know what I'm saying. But we live on learn, innit, you know. But Man United's foundations is a total wreck. So no matter what manager you bring in, and no matter what players you're going to bring into the club, it's always going to be that cycle of rubbish. The same with Tottenham for well, just to add Tottenham into this talk. The foundation for me, yeah, and I'll tell you straight, if the foundation is rubbish, it's going to be the same cycle over and over again, you know. And no matter what players you bring in, and no matter what managers you bring in, it's going to be the same shit. What can you actually do to get better? That's because you're essentially on a losing end. Because if you don't change from top to bottom, 10 years, 20 years time, you're going to be in the same spot. The only difference is, go for it, bro.
Why is Spurs' foundation? I think
perfect.
the foundation is way better than Man U's.
Lovely. Thank you. You fell into my trap. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. For all the Levy inners and all the Enoch inners, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna get a lot of hate because I get a lot of Spurs fans hate the fact that I'm like this, but Levy's done a great job outside of football, but inside of football, he's managed. Okay, cool. Okay, firstly,
trophies.
Football is about trophies. If you're not winning trophies, you're not successful. I'm sorry, that just the standard. That's the standard. I will tell you, every other club has won a trophy in the last 15 years. So you've got a failure in the club.
Chinks wants Arteta forever, whether he wins.
No, it's not just that. No, I agree with him. I agree with him. Yeah, I think that Champions League final is as good as any domestic cup.
Okay, but that Champions League final, you need to understand this. Let's balance that.
Was a failure.
Wait, let's balance that. That Champions League final was an ultimate success for Tottenham because we shithouse our way to the top. If you remember, that season was poor, and the season before that, he didn't spend no money for 18 months. Are you sure? It was a good Champions League final? Come on, man.
The stadium during that 18 months. When you building the stadium.
Now you're going to bring in the stadium, yeah? Cool.
I'm just saying.
But that's good.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree that that's a good business move, though, TJ?
For him to make money. Yeah,
I understand about the
put money in his pocket.
Because when I was suffering the 8 years or whenever they were building the Emirates and we're selling our players,
you buy players. So.
I was fuming. But now when I look back at it now,
but the difference is you buy players.
Yeah, but now we're seeing it's not obviously where football is right now, but off the back of those years of sustainability that Wenger provided us with, look at the position we're in now because we're a self-sustainable club, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Cool. And correct me if I'm right or wrong, yeah? Hold on. Correct me if I'm right or wrong. When you moved from Highbury to obviously the Emirates, yeah, and them seasons you were actually getting your football, you were winning trophies, right? Wasn't you? So there was still success, right?
We won one or two FA Cups.
There's still success, right?
No, but but you know what happens, TJ? It becomes snobbery because it will be success here, but then I'll go talk to my Chelsea mate and they'll shit on those. Or I'll
Of
talk,
course, yeah, no,
you
no,
know
no,
what I
no,
mean?
no, no. But I'm
He's saying-
talking
he's trying
about
to
your
say
club
that-
success.
He's trying to say that
I'm
when you
talking
win,
about
you're
your
still
club
winning.
success. You've won some sort of silverware, right? Now you've now gone into the bracket of winning silverware. So now all the teams that are winning the Prem, the Champions League, and all that, they're gonna shithouse you for an FA Cup, right? When a club hasn't lifted a trophy for 15 years, it's not success. Success is about win.
I hear you to a degree, yeah, but that's true, yeah. But I think there's a whole load of stuff that gets piled onto that just because of like the football rivalry. Do you know what I mean? Because people will like shit on trophies and disrespect you and want to call like if you finish above Man U and Chelsea this year, the first thing they're gonna say to you is, "Oh, but you haven't won nothing." You're only saying that to make yourself feel better because your team's
Okay,
shit
put it
this
like
year.
this, yeah.
You get what I mean?
Let me make it more clear for you. Are we bigger than Arsenal?
No, yeah. No,
In terms of
you're
what
not.
it,
Are we
Revenue-wise-
just generally? Are we
revenue-wise,
bigger? Are we a bigger club than Arsenal?
Revenue-wise, you are. Revenue-wise, you are.
revenue wise, but in terms of trophies amounted, no.
Exactly.
Chinks,
Are we
you
a
know
bigger
what?
club than Man United?
No,
Are we a
Nah,
bigger
but-
club than Chelsea?
no.
But
Are we
can
a
I
bigger
ask
club
side
than
question?
Liverpool?
No, but if you finish above these teams this year you're better than them.
But it doesn't make us
And I
bigger,
think-
though. That's the thing.
Chinks,
Come on, man.
But I
What is
think-
that?
You know what
Does
Chinks
anybody
is
remember the
something, though.
fourth place finish?
Do you know what Chinks is doing? Yeah, and it's not doing it on purpose, but you're reminding me of, you know, those people that have made it become millionaires, and now they've lived the life, and they've
Yeah,
slacked
money's
their
not
hair.
everything.
And
Money's
now
not everything.
Money's like, he goes, why buy a line? Why people want to buy this Mercedes? I drive in a little beat up, Peugeot 206.
Like you know what it is, Tune. Yeah,
I'm like,
you know
bro,
what?
let me have the
See, like,
Mercedes first, and then tell me about the Peugeot 206. I'll
you know
talk to
why I do this, yeah. Tune?
TJ
'Cause
just
you
wants
see,
the Mercedes. That's all he wants.
No,
he
I
wants the
understand that.
Mercedes.
and
I don't want to
and you're right, yeah. You know what it is though. You see, last season, yeah, because I think this sets up a very depressing state as a football fan unless you support Man City.
It's true.
Like
It's true.
last
It's true.
year, yeah, we never won fuck all. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, yeah.
Yeah, but
for
you don't
about
have to
20
though.
No, but here's
No,
what I'm
but
saying. But for the last, I think I could say about
Yeah.
for the last 15, let me say 10 years to be safe. That was
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
season I
Yeah.
enjoyed the most
Yeah.
for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Even though we didn't win nothing, I genuinely that goal at Bournemouth, like
Yeah.
I understand it never amounted to nothing, but you know, like the story of the journey and the destination. It's about I
Chinks,
enjoyed.
I was just
that
about to say
journey.
to you,
And if I only
you've learned
yeah.
the discipline, and it's the right discipline, and people need to understand this because you're both right. TJ's right; you need to win trophies to be successful. But Chinks is also very right that you need to also enjoy the process of going.
okay,
going
cool.
there.
But you know where I'm gonna cut you out on that. You know, sorry, not to be rude, innit?
Yes, sir.
Fuck the process. You know, I've been doing this process
Oh.
for 15 years, man.
No,
What are you talking about process, bro?
No,
Process what? If it doesn't relate, if it doesn't come down to my team lifting up their armpits, I don't care. You know what? I don't care. You know my standards. Every football fan puts their team to a standard, and it's whether it's.
Hold on. But to say standards, though, you have to have. You're speaking as a Real Madrid fan here. You're not.
Okay, cool. See, this is the problem now. My team, listen, I'm not like every other Tottenham fan on this actual thing, you know? I will say it how it is, innit, yeah? My team is not a top 4, top 6 club. We are mid-table at best. You know why? Because we act like a Brighton.
You're top 6.
No, but you finished above us 7 years in a row.
You've been Champions League for the last 8-9 years.
It doesn't matter. If you're not successful on the pitch and you're not winning honours, look, Arsenal finished 8-8 and still won a trophy. Chelsea, come on, man.
You sacked Marino.
Chelsea are finishing 10 or whatever, and they're still in a final.
So yeah,
and if they win it, it will go back to my point. Chelsea might finish 11th.
Look, this is the problem for you guys. Like, take it from a guy. You're talking about success. I haven't seen 15. Try 67 years and try 2 relegations in the last 10 years and understand the process. Here's what. So listen,
Bruh,
you know,
I'm not here for that process, man. That process needs to
you
get
have to be.
processed.
TJ, we literally just spoke about you talking about rich young footballers, and look where I am in life. You, unless you're a rich young footballer, TJ, or looking to become a footballer, which I don't think you are, you're gonna go for a process. I'm sure you still want to be a millionaire. Unless you win the lottery, you're gonna have to go through a process, whether it's a step of business, career,
But
whatever
how
it
many
is.
process until you make the process right, though? That's the problem, innit?
Okay,
We're sitting here 15 years deep in it with no trophies.
This is the point I'm going to get to from an outsider looking in at Spurs, and I've spoken to Haz and the guys before about it. As an outsider looking in and looking at Spurs, you had key moments where you could have had one trophy. Yes, you had the Champions League final, you had the Mourinho thing, but the one key thing I think you had is around the Pochettino sacking. Whether you want to, you jumped the gun, but not only that. Say it was justified that he got sacked. Your problem is that you looked at your neighbours, Chelsea,
and sorry to cut you too. Not just what's his name? Wasn't Mourinho in line to get to a final as well before they sacked him?
Yeah. So they sacked him. So
exactly, and that goes back down to my point of the foundation is whack.
You guys,
no, but listen to what Toon said.
You guys were playing irresistible football. Yeah. Fantastic. You could have won what you wanted to set out to win, but you looked at for whatever reason. God help us. You forgot about your own process. You looked at Chelsea. He said, that Mourinho wins trophies. In fact, you know what they said? They said what TJ said. They said, F the process. I want Mourinho. F the process. Literally. I want Conte. Literally. And you know what? You got Mourinho and Conte in full effect. In absolute full effect. And your football degenerated for the last 5-6 years. Now you've got Newcastle, you've got Brighton, you've got Arsenal.
You made him like a pissig.
And now you have to start all over again. You have to start all over again. And we've all watched you. We've all watched you and said, boy, that's the. And what did Mourinho said? That's the heritage of Tottenham. And that's where you for whatever reason.
And Toon, you hit the nail on the head, bro. It's you let the outside voices make you jump. No, but you focus on what you know.
But whose fault is that, though? You're mentioning all of it. We want to skip to the process and all of that, and bag the best managers and all of that, right? But whose fault is it? Who's in charge of this damn place?
But I feel it's ours because our voice, obviously it's all of us, but I think our voice is very loud and important. Like, do you get what I mean? So once we start...
It's Levy, man. Say it how it is. Because we've been through this process with 5 managers in the last 5 years.
Yeah, and he's following what you lot want. You lot, if the guy doesn't win, you just want to get rid of him. And it's
I disagree.
Cool. Toon said, Poch would have won something. Don't listen to Axe. He's a wind-up. He don't ever wear polo necks. Don't follow this guy.
Don't act like you know me.
Let's welcome Axe to the show, by the way. Axe, welcome to the show. They've been waiting patiently, man. Big yourself up. How are you?
I'm sweet, man. Just coming from a little birthday gathering. So that's why I'm late. But it sounds like TJ was going to blame Levy, yeah? And I agree with him. The reason why I agree with him is because Mourinho and Conte went in there and they both came out saying, yeah, this is a mad setup.
Not only that, yeah. The way he's managed us for the last 10 years of my life, innit? He's gone cheap. He doesn't take risks.
He's not cheap. You spent 25. You spent 25 million pound less than Man United in the last 10 years.
Yeah, man. It's City. I'm telling you, too.
In them last 25 years, you know how many players we missed off with just about 5-6 million. We could have had Suarez. We could have Diaz. We could have Bruno. We could have had all of these players, innit?
You know what? We could have had Hamza Chowdhury for £1 million loan. And Mike Ashley wouldn't do it. Join the club, brother.
You know what though?
Join the club, brother. When you guys were buying all these other players off that Harry Kane money, enjoying life, and you got to eat caviar while you're on the way to the Champions League, and just because you look at your neighbours Chelsea, they win some, Arsenal win some, and then you realize, wow, we've actually got to win stuff. And then you come back and tell me, but Levy don't spend any money. He does spend money.
No, I take counter that, yeah. I take counter that though, quickly, yeah. I do agree with Toons when he says that. Reason why I say that is, Chinks would know. We were saying the same shit about the Cronkies, and when they got the right setup in place, it's a totally different thing now. They don't spend money. We were spending money. We were spending on all the wrong players.
No, but you're spending money. But are you Man United? You Man United?
No,
Arsenal.
We were spending money. No, I'm Arsenal. We were spending money.
Yeah, but you're spending it on weldies, though.
That's the thing,
You're spending it on players to make them better. We are spending our money on Johnson and Werner and Richarlison. Is that the quality?
That's the manager
who's available though?
Your manager
not hearing that manager bullshit because we could get the best. We could get the best of the best if we really wanted to. If you put the money down.
And you know what happened, TJ? You know what would happen, TJ? No, but hold on. Wait, you know what would happen though? You'd be Man U. Because that's what Man U do. They don't look at the philosophy or the system or who fits or who the manager wants. They just take the money and throw it at people. That's why they're
they're not signing the best of the best. When you look at Man United signing, it's not really the best of the best, fam.
And you got to be
Sancho was elite.
For every Werner, you got Van der Beek, one of the best centre backs in the league. I don't know who else you guys have bought. It's not all been duds like Vicario.
Yeah, I know. No, I get that.
Wait. Did you say Van der Beek?
Van der Ven.
Van der Ven. This was been quiet this whole time.
He's going to remove the camera. He's going to.
I'm Arsenal. Man, forget we were giving. Man, forget. Chinks no. Man, forget we were giving average standard players at Arsenal just 100k a week. Man, forget we spent 35 mil on Mustafi, 72 on Pepe. Everything you're talking about, I've been through that, bro.
I hate that because we judge with hindsight, though. At that moment, Mustafi was a German, wasn't he?
He was one of the best.
Winner,
he was one of the best out there.
He was
one of the best out there.
He was Enzo.
Yeah, Pepe, literally. And Pepe,
that's all we can go off, though. It's to show that
but see, the difference is
Pepe was 72 mil in finance. It wasn't like we should have got Wilf, but they wanted too much money up front. So Pepe was
what I'm trying to say, you buy the best players. You buy the best players, and even like let's just go through Arsenal. Aubameyang, at the time when you brought him, he was one of the best. Mustafi, he was one of the best. And regardless if we're going to look back at these players and be like, they're dead, he was one of the best, right? Tottenham, I'm telling you now, we won't go for a striker because we need a striker badly. Let's be honest with you. Richarlison is not going to cut out.
So
we go for Werner.
No, but who's available?
If you're serious, this is what I'm trying to say. That's my point. If you're serious, you drop the money for Ivan, or even it's not in our league, but you drop the money for Osimhen.
What's this Ivan thing? Ivan in attack.
Osimhen? Why?
These men are not.
Tottenham can't get Osimhen, bro. Like if Chelsea, Arsenal,
the thing is,
it's
not just about like go and get Osimhen. The players got to want to come to the club as well. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's all well and good saying, I want that player, but the players got to agree to it as well.
Thank you.
But it's not like FIFA. We can go out and just buy the player, but we've got. I hear what TJ is saying. We've got to go and show a bit of ambition at least. You know, if we make
no, but I've had enough of this process, man. Of this nonsense of like Johnson for 50 million. Come on, man.
Look,
hey, my cousin supports Spurs. He hates Johnson as well.
TJ, you have to embrace the process. No one can.
Man, I've been hearing this process for 15 years and it's not working, bro. In another 15 years, I'm gonna have kids and I'm gonna come back on this show with my kids and I'm gonna say, my kid is gonna say it's not working.
And God willing, when you're having kids, and your wife is 5-6 months pregnant, you can't say, "I'm tired of the process. I want you born now." My friend, you've got 3-4 months to go. You have to wait.
That's a mad comparison. That's
a mad comparison.
I told you, look, Axe is a wind-up. He comes there in a polo neck, looking all professional. He's just there to fuel the fire. That's all he's a fire starter.
I'm not.
You know why you should have listened? You know why you should have listened to me, TJ? Because he's in a WhatsApp group with me. The amount of hassle he was giving me over Havertz at the start of this season, the way he was kicking my back in pause. I'm in there battling Tottenham fans, Man U fans, Chelsea fans. This guy's supposed to be my guy, and he just came and was kicking me while I was down. And then Havertz started playing well. Yeah, he had the audacity to say, "Oh, you see Havertz today." I don't
but the big question is, you could have got better though.
Man.
That's the point. That's the main point. You could have gotten better.
But it depends.
I don't think Havertz.
It depends what you say. But just because everybody is looking at the shiny object and saying he's the better, I want to pay 100 million. If they're willing to pay 100 million, he must be amazing. Whoever this player is, your best player, one of the greatest strikers the Premier League ever seen. Not the best because Alan Shearer was the best. He got the most goals. Harry Kane.
No, he's not.
Harry Kane.
See,
this
is what I'm talking about, TJ. You see this? He just said that Harry Kane's pants, basically. So you can't listen to him.
No.
He's
He
not
said
Shearer.
Shearer's the greatest striker. I said, no, he's not.
He's not my Shearer.
In terms of goals, he is, though, no?
He is.
Yeah, but bro,
he don't know
Henry
about
was
goals.
here for half Shearer's years.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear excuses.
You have to put context in, bro.
Excuses. The context is like he's number one in goals.
If he's somewhere for 20 years and I'm here for 10, I expect him to have a better foundation than me.
Yeah, but you can't write off his 10 years, though. Like, do you know what I mean?
I'm not writing it up. I'm just saying,
Thierry Henry is the best import. He's the best import ever to the Premier League, and I think they've given him that. But you can't discredit Shearer.
I'm just saying Henry's better. There's nothing wrong in it. Am I saying something wrong?
No, but that's preference. So it's a preference-based argument now. But statistically speaking,
let's leave it. Hey, we don't need to argue on that. He said Shearer, I said Henry. We just need to.
So back to Tottenham.
So
yeah. Back to
Tottenham. All these shiny objects that you want. Osimhen, Ivan Toney, and who says they're the best? I swear to you, I'll be real honest with you. I didn't know about Osimhen until the last 18 months because everybody's like talking about this guy called Osimhen in Italy. I didn't know about him, but now he's become everyone's God's gift. Like, unless you get Osimhen, you can't win the league. I'm like, why? Since when, bruv? You know,
what I mean?
Ivan Toney, yes, he's a good striker. We can all see. We've seen him from the Premier League. But, you know, you guys are like, he may or may not be successful. I'm not too, we talk about character. I'm not too sure about his character. I think
1,000%. 1,000%. You're right.
Brent laid out the fountain. You gave him a whole celebration to come back. I'm like, bro. He got himself banned. You know what? Ivan Toney reminds me of that. You know, we celebrate the gangsters that come out of prison. We give them champagne and we do the news. But the guy that graduates, the one that graduates from
the guy who went to uni, done it well, is in the hospital saving people as a doctor.
They all say scrub. They say scrub. They say, where's it been? That's what Ivan Toney.
Quickly, 2 points here. There's one of them show like, fucking hell. If Osimhen and Toney are the number 2 targets for strikers, does that show the pool of talent has just shrunk dramatically? And the second thing is, I think back to TJ's point of Tottenham, I think Postecoglou, when he gets these players, I think you look will be a problem.
The problem is,
I said that beginning of the season.
He hasn't been here.
Look, I agree with what you're saying, but I just can't. I can't accept we're going to get to that point. Why? Because I've seen managers come in and do that 360. Do that 360 of we're going to get the players and we.
But look, he signed in Doggy, He signed.
He didn't sign him. We already had him.
Hey.
All right, cool. No, but now he's playing,
Hey.
You got Van
Today.
You got
trophy. That's what TJ wants.
Man, I just hate this process, man. I hate that word process, man. That word process means nothing, man. That word process means nothing, man.
Axe is right. Remember how poor is it? Poor
He's got them man balling there, you know. Them man
TJ can't even wait for the season to finish. He said that's the process.
He's the process.
I don't understand it, because a club that don't win stuff, why do you want a trophy now? Like,
that's my point, bro.
I told you.
That's my point. My point is, look,
searching for a feeling.
This is the guy.
You're searching for a feeling you've never had.
You can't listen to him, TJ. You can't listen to him. You shoot yourself.
All I said was
You will shoot yourself. You can't listen to this guy.
I'm not the only Spurs fan. Has,
Don't
don't you
tarnish my
believe this
name.
process is just a process of doom? 360 degrees.
We don't know. You don't know.
know,
TJ,
man.
you know what you reminded me of? And I know that for the first minute, I'll speak about other fans. Again, it goes back to there's so much banter and there's so much bumper sticker comments around. You have to process. Your club hasn't won anything. You're not successful. You know, Axe is laughing.
But we're
his
not
head off.
successful though. That's the thing, man.
Right, the way you got to look at it though,
You've got a new manager though.
the way you look at it though, like our prices are going up season after season. Only today it was announced that the prices, season tickets and ticket holders are going up by another 6%. So how can the hierarchy justify charging that much when we haven't even won anything in the last 15, 16 years?
Yeah, but
You wonder how they
wait, so hold on. Can't you see how that's contradictive though? Because you're all complaining about the level you're at, and you want them to spend more money and do more. The moment they ask you for a bit more,
what do you mean?
No. It's not about spending money or to do more. It's about, do we actually deserve to pay more to get what we're getting right now?
Well, as long as you keep buying the tickets, Like if you're gonna protest, don't go to the games. That's all you can do.
I haven't gone to a game for the last 5 years.
Let me ask you then. If you're paid every season for season ticket, but you ain't winning nothing, but every season your chairman saying, I'm increasing every season by 6%, 5%, whatever it is, right? Are you going to be happy if you're not winning any trophies? But every season, you're a working man, you're having to fork out 6% more every season to watch your team, but not win anything. You'll be okay with that.
That's the same argument. That's the same argument Arsenal had 5 years ago. When we were
but our fans are stupid, though, bro. You know what? I'm going to ask you lot to do.
You look. He's saying don't listen to me, and then he's saying I should back him, and now he's saying our fans are stupid.
No, because a lot of our fans are fam. Listen, you as much know Arsenal Fan TV was the biggest fan channel full of fucking idiots on the TV. We all know. What I'm you lot gonna ask Levy and that to lower the prices. You lot give me one industry in the UK where the prices drop year on year. Give me one industry.
There's none.
So we're gonna fuck off to some third world country. But it's how it's like just that or don't go. Do you know what I mean?
Look, you have a fair point. That's a very banging point, to be honest with you. I didn't even think of it like that, But what we're paying for and how expensive everything is.
Okay, so this would be Levy's. If I was Levy, let me be double advocate. This is what Levy would say. For the past 8-9 years, you've been to the Champions League. For the past 8-9 years, you've had Harry Kane. You've gone to Champions League finals. You've been to FA Cup finals. I'm saying all Levy can say as an owner is say, look, I can't physically win these competitions for you, but I've tried very, very hard, as is the track record, to get you guys there in the first place. Yes, we haven't always had we haven't been able to cross the lines, but I'm not the guy that's doing the tactics. I'm not the guy that's doing this. That's Pochettino playing one-legged Kane in the final when you could have played Mourinho. I'm not that guy. You know what I'm saying? So there's only so much you can blame him for. Again, you're saying, we haven't won anything. 2 relegations, 10 years, Mike Ashley, like you see what Levy is about. I make jokes about go-karts and stuff like that, but at least your guy wanted to make money. Our guy wanted to do the total opposite. He went the opposite way. I said, I'm going to spend as little money as possible so my FFP can be all right, and I can one day get someone to buy the club. Thank God it's happened, but there was no guarantees behind it. So this is the route that he's chosen, and this is what it is, and this is the process. Now, going to Hass's point, what he's saying about, you're totally right, the working man, season tickets, we haven't won anything, so why we're gonna, you had then as the working man, hashtag F the process, we're not buying the season tickets. 10,000, 15,000 of you, campaign, leave, and don't go to the stadiums. Even if he manages to get replacements for it, it's gonna make the news that people are leaving, that people are not happy. He has to make them the better decisions. But at the same time, though, you've just got a fresh new manager in. he's almost going back to the roots that you had on the Pochettino, being a free-flowing football team, and he's got a philosophy. And it looks like Levy. I don't know if you noticed this winter transfer window. You guys are the only ones that bought anybody. Us, we got the
sold well,
and you sold well. We haven't nobody like we didn't buy anybody. Nobody else bought anybody, and we got like 10+ injuries. But here you are telling me, about farm is not buying stuff. My friend, you guys have got players in.
You flip the script there. You flip the script. No, I'm not saying you don't buy it.
So hold on, TJ. If I was to say to you, that you Tottenham fans are ungrateful, how would you feel?
What are we grateful for, though? My question to that question: what are we grateful for?
Right, so based on what you've said and like historically and stuff, what you've won, what's the difference? Like, say for example, look at Chelsea and look at Fulham. Like, do you get what I mean? Fulham are an afterthought. That's their rivals. They don't even give a shit about them. Like, do you know what I mean? Even though it doesn't matter to you, the 7 years or 6 years that you guys finished above us, that meant a lot to me. That burned my skin. That burned me. Like, do you know what I mean? That hurt. I had to be quiet. Like, do you know what I mean? And where you was when Levy started, and what you're a solidified top 6 team, top 4 if it was not for some other.
Man, again, Tottenham was God 3 points home and away. They were shocking back.
Like, do you know what I mean? He's elevated to a point. Like, but you was in talks for the Super League. Like, do you know what I mean? It's not the best job if you want to compare it to City and stuff like that. But you're not a shit club, bro.
But let's just flip the script though. Flip the script. But even though we were finishing above Arsenal for 7 years straight, as you've just said, or whatever, you guys are still winning shit, wasn't you?
3 FA Cups.
You guys didn't take.
It still comes down to winning silverware. I started football for success, not when you play in the school. When you play school football, you're playing school. I wanted to play. I'm a fat guy in it, yeah. I decided to play football to win things, not to fucking play for fun. It's not good enough, man. It's not good enough. I'm sorry. I'm not hearing none of you guys. You guys are going in one ear out the other because I sat here and analysed 15 years of dog shit.
What do you mean?
15 years of Audi Cup.
What, new stadiums, Champions League finals?
I don't care about that new stadium.
When you was with Poch and you was competing, you was happy. You weren't unhappy, you're lying.
You weren't talking this greasy.
15 years. When Poch was competing, you were happy.
Look,
you were
of course I was.
Look, you guys' problem is that you didn't seize the opportunity. Even Arsenal in their worst state seized the opportunity. Even Man United, people bantered them the last 10 years. They still won Euro. And the thing is, I've had Tottenham fans and Hasler's come on the channel and say, what's the League Cup? What's the FA Cup? Minor things. We're going for the big ones.
You won't hear that from me though. I'm not gonna lie to you. Don't put me in the kettle of fish with other fans in it. I'm a unique breed. What I'm saying is, you missed out on these opportunities. Like I said, even Arsenal in their worst state said, we're gonna get something to this season. The FA Cup by any means, by hook or crook, we're gonna do it. And they did it.
That's a paper over the cracks though, too.
I'm not saying,
you know what I mean?
But for you, your perspective of it is, for me, that's the ultimate goal.
Yeah. So you're like that guy at the club. You spend the whole night with that same chick, talking to her, only to at the final moment to leave and let the other guy. That's all that's
rookie mistake. That's a rookie mistake.
And that's all that's
Tune, you know what we did, yeah? We had a terrible season because Man U did it recently. We had a terrible season. We got smashed. We saw a bird by the door, took her home, and her Johnson's bigger than mine. Do you know what I mean? That's what's happened, bro.
Why she got a Johnson? Why she got a Johnson?
Yeah, exactly. Because the trophy.
What do you mean exactly?
The trophy makes it seem like a success and that we're doing great, but the next season we finish 8th again. Like, do you know what I mean? Like the trophy makes it look amazing.
Chinks, you're going to a whole different other stratosphere.
Yeah, he's talking about Jan got Johnson. What's he on?
Good point. Sorry, I went left. Sorry.
You know what, Has? You know what? This just shows me we're a joke of a club.
You're all right. You're good.
When all your rivals are saying to you, it's all right. It's Tottenham. It's okay. It's not. That's what's in it.
Listen to Axe. Don't listen to Axe. Don't listen to this guy.
We are honestly finished.
TJ, I'm going to say exactly what I
All
said. Last season, we won nothing. It was it was my most happiest season I've had for about 10 to 12 years.
But that's because you've
including
been winning
the
for a long while.
No, I'll take that challenge because you know what you're doing, TJ. Your whole season is just depressing until you win something at the end, and life is not going to be happy that way, bro.
TJ, don't listen to him. He's the guy saying, "Yo, don't worry,
Shall we
try
go back
tomorrow."
Shall we go back to Foden? Who's better, Foden or Saka? Or shall we?
Yeah, fuck it. Sorry,
Listen, we'll be here till tomorrow night, man.
Last time you came with that, you came with full stats.
Say that
You
again.
came with full stats.
You did. You come in with full stats last time.
If you guys just moved on from the Foden second thing. I had his stats right in front of me. I was about to like obliterate. But
You were including FIFA World Cup goals. I clocked it.
That is a lie. That is a lie.
Guys, I just like obviously there's big games coming up, right? Obviously Tottenham's got Villa on the weekend. I'm half thinking
Newcastle Chelsea. It's about Newcastle Chelsea. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's Newcastle Chelsea, I think. But we've got Aston Villa. I'm half thinking we're gonna get pumped on the weekend. Like,
is that Villa?
Yeah, at
Villa playing Ajax. They're playing Ajax tomorrow away, though.
Yeah.
I know. Do you know what? We always say this. We always say, yeah, but they're playing this midweek. They're playing that team midweek. But you know what? Sometimes it start making a difference.
All you guys got to do is be on top of Douglas Luiz and the other fella. What's the other one in the midfield? Douglas and
Kamara.
You've got to because you played high pressing football. Listen, we've beaten them home and away this season. By the way, it's not for everybody, but it is what it is. And our key thing is to be on top of those guys, Douglas and Kamara, because once they get the ball, they go straight to Ollie Watkins. He's been an absolute fire. I know people are saying that Isak is the number 2 Haaland after Haaland, and I get that, but it's Ollie Watkins. And in my view, if you guys, because you play that high pressing football, you will be on top of them. So I'll give you more than a chance. Who's in the midfield right now? Who's playing? Who played last time?
What are you talking about? Tottenham?
Yeah, Tottenham. Who's on your midfield right now?
Russian roulette, man. Now midfield is Russian roulette.
No, I swear Basuma and Madison and that is back.
Yeah, they're back. It'll probably be Basuma, Madison, and Sarr, which is what I'm hoping for because
sometimes he throws in Skip. Sometimes he throws in. If Madison, the rest is.
If I were him, I'd play Sarr, Basuma, and Madison, and have Sarr and Basuma sit on Douglas and Kamara, and let Madison do his thing. You might be surprised. You might really be surprised. You might get on top of him.
Yeah, I don't know. If they sort of look at the Manchester City model, which clubs do study videos and stuff of other clubs, but Manchester City, what they did is they stifled our fullbacks. They stopped the likes of Udogie in midfield. Yeah. They just pressed us back constantly. We couldn't play. They won the midfield battle easy. They had us pinned back. City? Yeah, City. So
but City do that to fucking everyone, though.
Exactly. But this is what I'm saying.
What are you talking about? Didn't you not get a free in that game though?
No, in the cup game.
Oh yeah, okay.
In the cup game,
we got snapped up, innit? We didn't get a shot on target, bro.
Yeah, they dominated us big time in the cup, but I mean, look, Villa's going to come at us. It's not going to be like Crystal Palace was a low block. Again, we can't seem to break down low blocks. And the problem we have is like Madison's come back, but he's not 100% like fully sort of on it yet. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. He had little touches here and there against Crystal Palace. That little chip ball in for Romero, quality.
Listen, we had 17-year-old Miley. We had Sean Longstaff. And they stopped Kamara and Douglas. And we won the game 3-1 at Villa Park.
Yes, brother. But your team, innit? Yeah, your team don't do this one thing as well. We play high line football, innit? So
we play high line. We play high line.
The difference is your manager, right? Will switch things up.
Are you gonna say your manager's better? Are you gonna say our manager's better?
No, I'm not saying that.
Oh, okay,
I'm saying what we've seen from
mind games.
What we've seen from Ange this year is that he's not willing to change up tactics more often than not.
Didn't you know that from Celtic? He went Bernabeu and said, "Yeah, I'm not changing." They got battered like.
Yeah, but
like he don't change nowhere.
Did we get a say in the matter though? That's the thing.
No, but
You know what I mean? Did the fans get a say in the matter?
What I'm saying is that his tactics I think will work in this game because he presses high, because he gets your midfield high, and he inverts and he likes to flood the midfield. He will just stop Douglas and you stop Kamara. You stop the supply line to Watkins. The Villa run out of ideas after that.
That's not what happened last time. That's not what happened last time.
No, last time we were on smoke. You know, we should have won that game. You know, but that high line killed us, didn't it? Let me be honest with you.
I can see Douglas hooking the ball. You remember what Lampard used to do for Drogba? Just hooking it for Oli.
Van der Ven will clean that up though, man. Van der Ven's far, man. He'll clean that up, man.
If he's hooking it on Romero's side though,
but we generally do have a tactical problem because I feel we're not keeping no clean sheets, and it seems to me that it's getting to the point where it's becoming a major concern in certain areas, like with corners is a big issue for Tottenham. Even any set piece, to be honest with you, is a big issue right now, right?
Right now, at this stage of the season, it don't matter. I feel like I'm you guys' therapist. Like I'm having to blow up your tires for you. Like you've got a good team. Like no one cares at this stage. I swear to you, nobody cares at this stage. All people care about is
yeah, no, but I care. Do you know why? Because I'm sitting there watching this shit.
What you know what? But just
I'm sitting there watching us do the same thing, and then they concede, and then we're losing last minute or whatever. Yeah, right now it hasn't blown up. We had 20 minutes of good football last game. 70 minutes of total dog shit.
Listen,
you have to criticize your backs.
I got to go work, you know.
Oh no, don't go Chinks, man. Forget work, man.
I wish I could have you, man. Sorry.
Are you doing night shift?
Yeah. I've got to do some railway work, man. Midnight, I've got to be.
Oh, you're one of them, man. I know them kind of jobs.
Yeah. Well, you lot big up, man.
Big up, my guy.
Hey, that's for man that's rehabilitating.
See, I told you, don't listen to Axe. He's just that polo neck is a mystery. You lot should know. Never trust someone who wears a polo neck. Never ever trust somebody who wears a polo neck.
I bet when he puts down the polo neck, there's no neck. It's just.
You lot, big up, man. Big up.
Yeah, big up, man. Nice, man.
Love, man. Love.
Yeah, so guys, I mean, look, I said at the beginning of the show, we are going to wrap it up, by the way, the next 10 minutes, because I've got to be up early doors tomorrow as well. 5 a.m. in the morning. I've got to get my sleep. But yeah, we're coming to the tail end of the season now, man. Like, everyone's got different priorities. Obviously, Spurs, you know, we're trying to finish in that top 5, top 4, whatever you want to call it. But Arsenal, man, do you think, Axe, that you've got a good chance of maybe winning the league this season? Do you think that things are a bit favourable for you this season?
Nah, we've got tough games. We got Villa, we got Spurs still to play. We got obviously Etihad, which is after the international break. And I don't know how that's gonna go because I don't know if we want to ideally face City, go with the form we're in, or go to an international break and come back. I saw Jamie Carragher and on Monday Night Football, and Jamie was saying, like he thinks playing City after the international break is great because it could slow down rhythm. But Henry said to him, but Arsenal right now in rhythm also. So I think Etihad, we have to go there and win. We can't draw. If we go there and win, then I'm super confident. But obviously before that, we have to beat Brentford. You know Brentford. They're one of them dodgy teams. They're like Wolves. 4 years ago when you play Wolves, it's like
easy work.
Like
3-0.
No, not easy work.
It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody.
We fought that with West Ham and Fulham, and realistically, them 6 points. Like Arsenal will be top right now. I can't believe we lost to Fulham.
This is post-traumatic stress talking. You'll be all right.
No. Not me.
Fine.
I think we have to win at Etihad. That's what I think.
Yeah, and let's not discount, obviously, Liverpool's in the race as well, top of the league. They're playing some great football as well. So, look.
Their next game, City.
Who? Sorry?
The next game, City. The next game, City. That's why Arsenal have to... Arsenal have to beat Brentford. So on Sunday, it don't matter who drops points, we're top.
But this is the part of the season where the pressure's on now, isn't it? I mean, look, the pressure's on. You know, if City and if City and Liverpool draw, then that sort of opens the door for Arsenal a little bit, because it's like, right, now they've dropped points. If we go to the Etihad, if we get a result there, it's home straight. You have to start winning games from that point, like back to back. And this is what Manchester City do well, season after season. They get to this point, and it's like, right, now we win the games back to back, and they back it. They back it every single season, you know. So we're used to that. But look, I think it's going to be a close one. It's nice to have 3 teams in it this year. It's nice to see that Manchester City is not running away with it again. You know, what do I think about Arsenal being in it again this season? You know, I can't lie. You know, it hurts.
I'm scared, you know. I'm actually scared, you know.
But what I was going to say, Zach, when we play you guys or Liverpool, we still got to play all 3 of the top dogs.
Oh, is it?
City, Arsenal, Liverpool. And I'm really not. I mean, we're sitting here, sort of shit scared about playing Aston Villa on the weekend. Can you imagine when we play those teams? It's going to be mad.
The one thing I would say though, which is finally a bonus, usually in run-ins, we've got integral players injured for the last God knows how long. Partey's back now. Vieira's back now. They're not integral. Well, Partey probably one that's integral. Timber, Tomiyasu, and Zinchenko are coming back. We're finally going to have a full squad where there's no excuses. You either put up or shut up. But finally, we're going to have a full squad ready for a run-in. We haven't had that, since maybe like 05.
And this
Someone's
is what
always injured.
This is what I'm saying. It's going to be interesting. But on the flip side, I'll switch it around. Tottenham could have a say in where the title ends up as well, because, you know, one funny result against City or Liverpool or Arsenal, you know, changes the course of the whole.
If you're facing all 3 of us, you definitely have a say. I would say City are still favourites though, because they got a cheat code. Pep is the greatest of all. I don't even know why people still compare. Like, he's just the greatest. He is a cheat code. Once Pep leaves City, the Premier League becomes a level playing field.
We could have this discussion till sun comes up here, because for me, I'm with Toon. I mean, Ferguson, it's just in a nutshell, yeah, what he did with United from scratch. He didn't have the billions that City have. He didn't have unlimited. Yes, they're a big club, but he literally built that club up from bottom to top, basically. But that's another discussion for another day. But I think Arsenal's got a good chance. I think Liverpool, their front 3, amazing. I think it's going to come down to the last, few games. If I'm being honest with you,
I'm scared, man. I'm scared. You know why? Because Arsenal's hit that form and they're smacking up anybody in their way, you know. Like, and this is last year I was like, you're not going to win it. But this year, you know, with Liverpool's youngsters, like, that's a big factor in it as well, because you can't rely on youngsters for a long while. Yeah, you got people coming back, but it's like Man City needs to shift up in it. Start like winning matches. If they're gonna beat us this year, man. Come on, do your thing in it.
Man City won 15 of the last 17 games. They're doing their bit.
Yeah, man. But Arsenal look like they've clicked at the right time.
No, you're right. But Man City are in form. It's Man City and Arsenal that are great form. I think Liverpool are showing a lot of. They've got a lot of emotion and heart, obviously, for Klopp and their players. But that can only last so long. They need their boys back. They need the big boys back. We'll see who they got for Man City. But I agree with you, TJ. Like, Arsenal are no longer, that soft, pretty boy, pretty football club. They're playing like men. They're dominating teams. They got to act like they're the winners already. Almost. They got to go and clinch it now. They can't say, "Oh, we might do," but Man City. But I don't know about Brentford. You just got to go and do it. You got to eat your breakfast. This is what it is. Yeah,
absolutely. So like we said, it's getting crunch time now. We'll see where we are in the next few weeks. It's going to be interesting. But Toon, where do you see Newcastle? Do you reckon you can grab that European spot?
We might finish above Tottenham, by the way. You guys are talking.
I don't discount that.
Gracious, man.
That's a very big possibility.
If that
I'm not even gonna argue that. I'm not.
Wait, how much points? How much points is Newcastle behind Tottenham?
We got 40 points. They got like, I don't know, 53, 55. What you guys got?
No, Tottenham are gone.
Yeah, well, but he said they're going to lose. Like, they got to play Liverpool away, all these other teams away. Villa, they're going to get pumped. By that stage, we'll be on. We might just come back, man.
Tunes just put us on a downward spiral, man.
This weekend's the biggest game for the Spurs.
I was going to ask Kaz, but I reckon he's going to open out. Who's going to win? Who's going to win the trophy next? Tottenham or Newcastle? But
that Newcastle.
In my life, I swear, you shouldn't have said that. I hope we win something. Because then it goes back down to my argument. That process is not processing.
Well, I did. Our process worked for us. It's worked for us, bro.
The match.
Let's be honest with you. If you win a trophy first, it would just show that. It would just show that whatever Levy's doing, he needs to go in it.
Eddie Howe, the FA Cup.
TJ's thinking about.
Newcastle will start singing the Arsenal chant. What do you think of Tottenham?
TJ's thinking about how old his kids are going to be when Tottenham win the trophy.
His kids are going to be on here saying,
I'm not even gonna.
My dad made me a Spurs fan. Man told me listen to the process.
Process been going on for half a century.
Man, it's painful, man. That's one of my biggest clinks about Tottenham, and it's just one of them ones where I'm just sick and tired of the same shit.
No, man,
sick
you're
and tired.
Club. You can do great things. You have to believe. I can't believe this is a therapy session. You guys will be all right, bro. Seriously, you'll beat Villa.
Hopefully,
2-1. I'll give you guys 2. Here's my score prediction. I reckon you beat Villa. You know what? I'll be dangerous. I'll say 3-1. You beat them all.
2-2.
You do the same scoreline as us. Okay. Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm gonna say. If you win 3-1 or if you beat Villa, from now on for the rest of the season, whatever I say about Tottenham, please just listen and just say, you know what, Tunes, you're right. You're right. It's keep calm and carry on.
But I see different. I feel we're gonna lose 1-0.
Oh shit!
Yeah, man. Let me ruin it. Yeah, let me ruin it. Yeah, the way we've been playing in it, and I don't mean to be negative in it. Look.
You're
again,
making Max redundant. He's like, what's the point?
I just feel like it's a thing where we are not playing well right now, and we're not scoring. We're letting in a lot of goals, and it's becoming a. No, I'm not saying it's a serious concern because I know we have to give Ange time to adjust to the Prem, but I'm actually in belief that his tactics are killing our hopes of top 4, even top 5.
The reason they're in the race for top 4 is because of his tactics. The whole reason
I don't think so. If I can equally ask, no, let me be honest with you. Yeah, I'm gonna say this now, and I'm gonna put myself on the internet, and I do shows every Friday in it. But I'm gonna say this now in it. Yeah, if we had Conte, we would be in a much better spot because the goals that we're conceding, some of them are just ridiculous, isn't it? Let me be honest with you.
You be complaining about football.
Yeah, you have to criticize everything. You can't have 20 minutes of football. 20 minutes of football is not good enough.
How much do you need?
Sorry.
How much do you want?
At least half an hour. Not even, at least half an hour. The performances are not good, man. We're struggling to.
You lose. Like, what if you get 20 minutes of football and you lose?
We're struggling to create enough chances for enough good scoring chances. That's the tactic, right? For me, we're conceding the same goals. It's the tactic. If it's not a corner, it's a factor of the high line.
I've got a question. Yeah, go on. So I've got a question for you guys before Hassie close off. So Newcastle playing Chelsea on Monday at Stamford Bridge. What's your guys' predictions for that game?
That can be anything.
Right, so I was
That can literally be anything.
I was just going to go through our respective teams and get a
Oh,
score.
okay. Yeah, okay.
We can start with Chelsea if you want, or we can start with Spurs.
Now let's. I don't know your score lines. Like you guys gonna lose. I think.
Yeah, all right, cool. Let's start with Spurs. Obviously playing on Sunday against Aston Villa.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start with TJ. Let's get some
1-0, man. Aston Villa.
1-0 Aston Villa. So you think it'll be that
Yeah, I'm out. I believe we're gonna lose.
Okay.
I believe we're gonna lose.
All right, cool. Let's go to Toon.
3-1 Spurs.
3-1 Spurs. Toon's being positive on it. Axe
2-2.
Desmond 2-2. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go with 3-1 away loss to Aston Villa.
Oh, so that's even more. See, and you thought I was negative.
Bro, it's not about being negative. It's about being realistic. It's about being realistic expectation is that I don't think we're playing well enough at the moment to kill off games. I'm watching other teams like actually,
do their job.
Shreds.
Exactly.
As an Arsenal fan, 5 years, I know you lot's pain. I told my Man United friends that all you're doing is going through what we went through just 10 years later. But they didn't want to listen to me.
It's just spin cycle settings, isn't it? That's what it is.
I told you.
It is
360 degrees.
You guys cycles, man.
So who have we got next? Upcoming games, right? So we've got Liverpool, Man City. That's a massive game, man. Sunday, Liverpool, Man City.
Man City.
Actually, that's a really, really good double header. One of the best I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Villa, Tottenham, and straight after Liverpool, Man City. That's amazing.
Dope.
That's my Sunday sorted.
365, loads of yellow.
Yeah. All right, so Arsenal, Brentford. Obviously, it's an evening kickoff as well on Saturday. Arsenal definitely need to win this as well to stay in touch with City and Liverpool. How do we see this one going? Axe, I'll start with you since it's Arsenal.
I thought it was. I thought earlier 3. I think 2-0. I think Brentford will make it tough. They're just going to sit back. I think 2-0.
He went from 3 to 1.
2 to Arsenal.
No, 2-0.
2-0. Okay, cool. 2. How do you see this one going?
4-0 Arsenal.
4-0. Yeah.
I'm on that 4-0 as well, man. The way Arsenal's been playing recently, they've been smoking teams. Brentford have been poor. You need to understand their form right now. They're not playing their football that they usually play. So I can only see it being a game on one side.
Demolition, yeah, absolutely. So what are you going for? 4-0?
Yeah, 4-0, man.
Yeah. I think I was going to say 4-0 as well. Arsenal playing at home against Brentford. They've got the fans behind them. They're just purring at the moment. And as much as that pains me, I think he's going to be another mauling. Brentford for all the inventive, football that they're playing, this, that, and the other. I think Arsenal it'll be another day in the office. Right, okay, let's move on to the last game that we're highlighting. Chelsea versus Newcastle. Both of these teams seriously underperforming this season. Newcastle obviously had those really bad injuries and suspensions at the start of the season. Terrible start to the season. And then you've got Chelsea who, let's be honest, they've been in free fall this season. I'm going to start with Toon on this one because it's Newcastle. How do you see it going?
Yeah, I mean, we've been in terrible form, but we've got a lot of our players back. We've got a healthier bench. Our midfielders now got Joe Willock, Bruno Gomes, and Longstaff in it. So we're looking better. Isak is back up. Grant Gordon is there as well. Probably have Barnes on there as well. Defense is back. I think it's going to come down to mentality. When I look at Chelsea, they have the right setup, but they have a decent setup before. But I think it's going to come down to mentality. They've got two choices. They either give us the ball, but then if they give us the ball, they're at Stamford Bridge. They're going to get booed. If they take the ball, we'll just do what we did against Wolves. We'll do the low block and we'll just hit them on a counter and really hurt them. I say 2-1 Newcastle.
2-1 Newcastle. Okay. So Toon's going with a 2-1 Newcastle away to Chelsea. Axe, what do you reckon, my friend?
1-1.
1-1 seems fair. Yeah. Do you want to add on to it, or you just want to give a scoreline?
No, I think both teams are shocking. 1-1.
I don't know why I'm asking you. You're used to like 7-8 goals a week, so I'm just like.
No, you know what it is.
Do you know what? It's dead football.
I can see Newcastle being defensively sound, but I can see Chelsea getting something. I can even see Newcastle dominating the game and Chelsea getting something dodgy, like a penalty.
It's a weird one. It's a weird one to call, isn't it? Because of the indifferent forms of both teams, like Newcastle, it's just so difficult.
But I think Newcastle will play well and have chances. But for some reason, when clubs go away to the big teams, they have loads and loads of chances. Just don't kill the game off. That's why I think it'll be 1-1. But I think Newcastle will play well.
Okay, 1-1. DJ, I'll be interested.
I think it's going to be a draw, to be honest with you. No offense to both of the teams, but they're underperforming massively. Newcastle started with a bang and injuries kind of like killed their season. Well, I don't know if most of their players are coming back, but it's a difficult game, man. I don't even think there's going to be goals in it. So even 0-0, it's one of them ones where Poch is mere. He's trying to play this good football, but the players are just not there for it. Yeah, 0-0, man. It's going to be a boring game, to be honest with you.
Both managers are under pressure, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, are both teams under pressure, though? That's the thing. Are both of those teams under pressure, Chelsea and Newcastle, to get anything out of this game? Are they fighting for anything?
Yeah, we're fighting for Europe.
Newcastle fighting
for Europe. But I think Chelsea more than Newcastle. I think Poch is under serious pressure.
I don't think they'll get rid of Poch.
They can't.
He signed 2 million players on those 7-8 year contracts. I think
he didn't.
Those his signings though, or just Bowley just moving mad, saying yo, what's happening everywhere.
But he knows that FFP is coming through, isn't it? So it's just like
that's the other. Oh yeah, we can't even stay on this long. But another question I have is, if Chelsea don't get Europe this season, surely FFP have to get onto them.
No, you guys forget the foundations of all of this. Like their original owner had the club taken from him by the British government, and then there was some whole mad backroom deal that everybody seems to have signed up for, and for whatever it is, Chelsea are immune. I think they're supposed to spend like a whole lot of money as well, part of the agreement as well. So
I think part of that as well. I swear that I think there's some political thing behind why they came in for Mudryk when Arsenal was going to get.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But one thing's for sure, like neutral football says, Poch, Erik ten Hag, both gone, and Klopp gone next summer. There's going to be some massive changes in the Premier League for next summer. That there's no doubt about that. Well, Poch, I don't know yet. I think he'll still be there, but certainly Erik ten Hag and Klopp definitely gone. And a lot of people seem to think Mudryk was a political signing, but we're never going to prove that, are we? But look, this weekend, guys, some massive games. I think it's going to be a good advert for the Premier League this weekend. Even Man United Everton throws up a good game. That's the first game of the week as well. That should be a good game as well.
Come on, Everton.
Yeah, that's going to be a good game, honestly. Brighton, Nottingham Forest, Wolves versus Fulham, Bournemouth, Sheffield United, West Ham, Burnley, Battle of the Clarets, and then Crystal Palace, Luton as well. There's some great games this weekend. But look, whatever happens, good luck to your respective teams. And we'll be back again next week. We'll be back again discussing life and values, I suppose, next week, maybe. And the importance of spending your money wisely and all that stuff. But no, guys, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure, talking to all of you again. And hopefully Ash will be back next week as well. He's decided to take a night off. And Axe, nice to have you on. Better late than never, but thank you. If you're
nice meeting you, lad.
Yeah, definitely.
You too, man. You too.
more than welcome to come on next week if you're around. And also a big shout out to the chat as well, who's been fantastic tonight. Loads and loads of people chiming in. I would go through all the names on here, but I'm just going to thank you all for being on and getting involved with us. Lastly, please do subscribe and do smash a like for the show as well. If you're new here, please do subscribe to the channel. And we'll leave it at that. Lads, it's been a pleasure. And on the next one, see you soon.
Take care, guys.
Take care, lads.
God bless.